One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Good afternoon on a Monday afternoon. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. My weekend went very well. Notre Dame stomped Pittsburgh, so that was a great win. Somehow the Miami Dolphins over in Spain were able to eke out a win in what arguably might have been one of the most boring football games I've ever seen. But they won. And then yesterday, as I posted in an X, I got to meet SV in person, one of the mods here, and had a great lunch. I, and Robin sat down, and he came all the way down here from Daytona after being in a pickleball tournament up in Daytona, and came all the way down here. 3-hour ride just for lunch, and we got to hang out, and it was just awesome. Awesome getting to meet him. So far now in person, I have met two of the mods. I've obviously met Beth down here. She lives here in South Florida. And that's my other phone, making noise over there. And I also got to meet SB. So I'm happy. Got to meet him. Great guy. We talked about the channel. We talked about some of you guys who are watching. We talked a lot about Trump. We talked about what's going on in the movement and what we're seeing happening. So after talking to he and Ashley over the weekend, I'm like, I got something to say today. And so today, not knowing what time President Trump is coming out, obviously he usually schedules things. It's supposed to be 2 p.m. Obviously he hasn't come out yet, so we shall see how imminently it will be. They haven't even pulled up the feed yet, so we may have a few minutes. But I decided to do things a little bit differently. Usually I go earlier, go on like at 1:30 and do like 30 minutes intro. And then he comes on, and I'm like, you know what, let me go on at 2, and if he comes on, I'll go ahead and let him talk, and I'll do the news afterwards. Because what I'm going to say today, I think you guys need to really begin digging in and opening your eyes to what's really happening. And then I have a little idea as to some of the other stuff that may be happening. And I'm going to put both of those together. So I'm going to start I have to stop, I'll come back and we'll do it. So just to let you guys know, he's due to come on at 2 o'clock. And those of you who are looking for a, huge announcement, it's not that. Supposedly the announcement today has something to do with the World Cup soccer matches. So he's going to be talking sports again. And some people are like, why is he talking sports? I'm going to get into that. Here is what I do know, and I'll start there. And then I'll go into what I think. What I do know is that there is a large contingent of people who are making a lot of money making you sick. And I don't mean insurance and doctors, I'm talking about influencers. Because influencers have found a way, because of what's going on X, to surf a trend into money. To say things even if they don't mean it, because it means money. And unfortunately, what's happening as well is many people, including some people in our chat, because you should have seen what the comments that were in my video yesterday, as people were chirping and parroting the same stuff that you hear the influencers saying. Stuff that 6 months ago, nobody talked about. Nobody was talking about H-1B visas being a big deal. No one was talking about housing affordability. Nobody, and I can prove it because I showed you the search graph on Google. These were just made up trends. And now we got a whole nother trend. That trend being boomers. We all suck. We're the ones who caused the problem for all the kids. It is us stupid boomers. Why don't you just die off already? Again, everybody's talking about it because everybody's making money off of it. And so what you see me doing on X is like I call out certain people and I go, what are you doing? I mean, come on, seriously, you don't believe this. You're waiting for this trend to end, and then you'll be right on the next trend. But the problem is there are so many people who are being caught in the spider web of influence that they don't even know that they're being subjugated. They don't even know that they are willing MK Ultra-like participants. And they just walk right into it, and then they begin parroting it. And I'm going to prove something to you. Hopefully I can get through this before President Trump comes on. I want you to watch this. It's a clip from the 1950s, followed up by a much more recent clip. And I want you to really think. One, are you seeing what you're going to see happening on X or Facebook or whatever? If what you're about to see, I want you in the chat to let me know, oh yeah, I'm seeing that. Number two, and this one's going to take a little bit of an intrinsic perspective, a lot of introspecting. Is it happening to you? Are you parroting messages that you don't even know what you're talking about? And one of the reasons is I see influencers peddling messages they have no idea what they're talking about, and then other people defending their ignorance. There is one guy out there who's talking about affordable housing. And he's been talking about affordable housing. And there's other people like me like, well, tell us. Don't just keep saying, it's my fight. I'm going to make it happen. Tell us. What exactly do you think you're going to do or promote to make housing more affordable? You see, one of the things with doing influence peddling or grievance peddling is to dangle it out there, get enough people to be little birds in the nest, get them to start parroting the message, and then you become the head parrot without anybody ever thinking or understanding what the hell is going on. One of the things that I realized yesterday when SV came down to lunch, we went to a restaurant on the waterfront in Fort Lauderdale. And it's a Sunday afternoon, and I told SV, what time you getting here? Because we have this thing called the God Squad down here. All the churches empty out at about 12:45, 1 o'clock, and then everybody surges to a restaurant. And I understand fully well, because I've talked to different people, we live in a unreal world, people say here. And so he gets to the restaurant before Robin and I got to the restaurant. He goes, this place is packed. I'm like, yeah, it's Sunday. Because that's how it is. It wasn't a special day. It was a Sunday. And it was sunny out. And the boats were out. And people were out. And one of the things when you get there is you realize they're white, they're black, they're Hispanic. People from all diverse backgrounds at a very expensive waterfront restaurant with boats hanging out and people pulling up their boats and getting off the boat and come to get something to eat. And it's packed. And then you realize on X how bad life sucks. Wow. Anybody tell these people? Anybody tell the people in here, the black ones, the white ones, the Hispanics, anybody telling these people life sucks? Hey, you parked in that boat. Hey, life sucks. America sucks. Trump sucks. No, because X isn't real life. Real life requires you to get outside and touch some grass and meet some people. And right now we're in the heat of the season down here in South Florida, but wherever you live, next week things are going to heat up. It's Christmas, Christmas and Thanksgiving. Go to your local store or restaurant, wherever you guys are, and see how bad things really are where you live versus what they're saying on X and on these networks. Because what they're doing on these networks is they are fostering the thought that they want people to run with. And it pays very well. And you don't even realize it because you're not the one paying. You're like, what do you mean they're making money off of me? Oh, they're making money off you. They're making a lot of money off you. I'm going to prove it to you. But before that, I want you to see if this if you recognize anybody you know or even yourself in this clip.
The three people on the left are actors. They've been briefed to stand or sit when they hear this. Everyone else that's brought in is a genuine shortlisted applicant. They've been given no instructions other than to fill out their forms. My team and I were secretly watching from another room. The more socially compliant a person is, the more they're likely to look to others for signs of how to behave.
The more socially compliant a person is, the more they will look to others to see how to behave. Sound familiar to anybody you know? Sound familiar to you? Remember, there's people out there saying that affordable housing sucks and boomers suck. How? How are you going to make it more affordable? Yeah, he said it. You know, he's doing something. How? It becomes more compliant because they're more, the more they are in their mindset, that hive mind, it doesn't make any sense to them to buck the hive mind.
This is going to be your spot.
And the more people, the greater the pressure to join in. In this case, whether to stand or sit.
Okay. So the more people who join in to the experiment, the more people who begin to complying, and they have no idea why they're complying. Oh, yeah. Well, they seem to like this. This must be the truth. What I'm saying must be the truth. I mean, what he's saying must be the truth because all these other people seem to be putting clicks and likes and comments going, yeah, good job. So I must be just like them because I'm here, so I need to be doing the exact same thing. Even though I don't know why.
Those people that didn't follow the crowd were removed.
I think we have to lose Amy, sadly.
Amy, come with me.
What you just saw right there is being banned. And now I know some of you guys, well, hey, you guys, you banned people from your YouTube channel. Oh, there's one difference. Amy there, who just got banned from the clip, she didn't get banned because she said something to the people next to her. She got banned because she didn't follow the crowd. We ban people if they say nasty things. We don't ban you because you have a different idea. It's the way you say it. She got booted simply because she wasn't getting up and down and following the rest of the hive mind. Think about that for a second.
Once we had a full house, we got rid of the actors, leaving us with a room full of compliant people standing up and sitting down, even though nobody told them to do this.
The Ash experiment is one of psychology's oldest and most popular pieces of research.
All right, so it's called the Ash experiment, ASCH. You guys can do your homework now and go look up the Ash experience. What you won't find, or if you really dig deep, is that's what social media was based upon when they put all this stuff together. They knew if they could get people addicted, if the dopamine that would hit these people, an actual chemical response from being liked, from being encouraged, and other people who feel the exact same way all over the place, they knew they would have a success. Robin's mother-in-law, who has since passed, it was a grown woman, well into her 80s, and she used to call all of the people in the family, "Did you like my post? I didn't see you like my post yet. You haven't gone on to Facebook and liked my post. I'm not even paying any attention to your post. You got to go like my post." Oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody didn't like my post. How come Sheila didn't like my post? And you may know people like that who actually complain because the granddaughter, the aunt, the niece, or whoever didn't like the post. The Ash experience is social media. The Ash experience is something you don't even know you're in until you recognize, well, what am I doing? Question everything. You don't have to be nasty, but question everything. Some people, obviously, just see what's being talked about and then create an opinion around it, not realizing the opinion is being crafted because people will just keep talking about it. It doesn't really exist. It doesn't make any sense. People are complaining that boomers might not have to pay property tax. When were you ever at 23 worried about paying property tax? Now you are. When were you ever worried about affordability of housing en masse and blaming somebody else for the affordability of the housing? Nope. They just started talking about it. And there will be something else next. We've seen it, the H-1B visas, and this and that. They just keep moving the goalposts and then get everybody to start talking about it, and everybody forgets what's on the other side here. Hey, you know that gas is cheaper? I even see people posting, and I put a response to it, hey, turkeys were so much expensive. I paid $2.80 a pound for my turkey. I'm like, you're either lying or stupid. If you pay $2.80 for a turkey, you're either lying or you're stupid. But nonetheless, under the post, oh yeah, Trump hasn't done anything for grocery prices. And I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about? Here's an actual picture from my store. You guys, some of you have responded. I'm like, hey, it was $1.19 here. People are like, I paid 87 cents a pound. What in the hell are you talking about? $3 a pound for turkey. Crazy. But it's called the Ash experiment.
A volunteer is told that he's taking part in a visual perception test. What he doesn't know is that the other participants are actors, and he's the only person taking part in the real test, which is actually about group conformity.
Please begin. The experiment you will be taking part in today involves the perception of line length. Your task will be simply to look at the line here on the left and indicate which of the three lines on the right is equal to it in length. So, for example, if you
The actors have been told to match the wrong lines. The volunteer will be monitored to see if he gives the correct answer or if he goes along with the opinion of the group and gives the wrong answer. In the first test, the correct answer is 2.
1. 1. 1. Two.
1. Once again, the correct answer is 2.
3. 3. 3. 3.
3.
The Ash experiment has been repeated many times, and the results have been supported again and again. We will conform to the group. Again, we're very social creatures. We're very much aware of what the people...
Whoa. What did he say? We are very social creatures. Social. Whoever got involved and did Facebook and Twitter and all the different things, and there's been rumors that it was DARPA and the CIA and everybody else, they understood what social pressure does. There have been people who have taken their own lives because of social pressure, because they need you to understand they're going through the same thing. We're seeing it with the Transformer movement. We're seeing it with the furry movement. We're seeing everything is about conformity, not individual thought. And then what did Twitter do when everybody started thinking for themselves? Pop. Misinformation. You got to go. It wasn't misinformation. You weren't conforming. You didn't get banned off of Facebook and X and Instagram and YouTube because you were wrong. You were banned because you were not conforming. And so it doesn't mean because the bans got lifted that the ideology and what happens went away. That's still in people's heads. And so now, even though there's nobody being banned, and X, the platform, not for so much isn't happening, but then you start talking about shadow banning and all this other stuff. But what they're doing is trying to make you conform. We weren't talking about these issues 3 or 4 months ago. We weren't even talking about some of these issues 30 days ago. And now there's nothing but those things being talked about. Oh yeah, and then once you click on one, you get more and more and more. Oh, you like fried chicken? We're going to feed you a whole bunch of damn fried chicken. You like talking about property tax? You like talking about boomers? We're going to feed you a whole bunch more of that stuff. You're never even going to see the other stuff if you don't know how to use X correctly and use X Pro. Otherwise, if you click on something, it's always funny to me when somebody goes, I keep seeing porn in my timeline. You want to tell them? You're seeing porn because somewhere you clicked on some. The algorithm says, this dude clicked on these things here. And he wants to see the variety milk or whatever it is, and he's going to get served that. The algorithm isn't stupid. The algorithm isn't evil in terms of like trying to inject stuff into you. The algorithm, the evil part is it knows what's in your mind. You want to prove that? Start listening, start clicking. Do me a favor, search for some Christian music. And then watch a couple of the Christian music songs, and then don't search anymore and watch what happens. Watch what shows up in your feed. Or look at something you've never looked at. Think about a subject, if you want to test it, think of a subject you have never searched or clicked on. And now you start clicking on, I don't know, Afghan knitting, and you see what happens. The conformity is baked in. The people don't know that they're being made to conform. And so it's easy to do so, and then you're thinking to yourself, well, why would people do it? Because then you add the money. Wait a second, if I get people to look at this stuff, you're going to pay me? Yes. How much? Well, we're going to get to that in a second.
People around us think we want to be liked. We don't want to be seen to rock the boat, so we will go along with the group. Even if we don't believe what people are saying, we'll still go along.
Even if we don't believe it, we don't want other people to see that we don't believe it. We don't want to get kicked out of the hive. So we just go along with it. Don't say nothing. And keep furthering Keep furthering what the Hive is saying. Keep telling everybody housing is unaffordable and you can't do it. Keep telling people gas prices have not gone down. Keep telling people grocery prices have not gone down. Keep telling people that Trump is ineffective. Keep telling people MAGA is dead. So you're in the midst of a massive psyop right now, and some of you have picked up on it, and some of you haven't. That's evil.
One.
Group dynamics is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology.
One.
Group dynamics are one of the most powerful forces in society. The groupthink, the hive mind. So let me show you, before Trump comes on, he hasn't come out yet, about the payment side of things. And then as you're walking around, first of all, not walking around, but on X or Facebook, you see people with the check. The check mark gives you all kinds of additional privileges. It's like we're using the American Express card. Like, oh, membership has privileges. Well, one of those privileges of having a blue check is Twitter will pay you. And then some of you have never seen the backside of Twitter because not many people, yours truly, like to show people the back end because it can be used against them. But I want you to see something, and I want you, even if you're not good in math, you can begin interpreting what exactly is going on. Here's a guy, Patriot, and he's called Cynical Publius. And Cynical Publius has 255,000 followers. All right, so you can do some interpretation here on this one network. He's got 255,000 followers. Other people have millions of followers. Other people have 50 or 60,000 followers. And even that's not completely indicative, because what Twitter or /X pays you on is the basis of how many people that are verified interact with you. That's a whole different thing. You can have a whole lot of people interacting with you, but if they also aren't verified, you aren't getting paid as much. So there's levels to this whole thing. So we have a group that I put together. We've got like 18,000 people in a group, but most of the group isn't verified. And so their engagement isn't worth as much as other people's engagement in terms of how Elon's people look at it. Hey, they're just plebes. Nobody really cares what they have to say. Well, I care. Yeah, but I'm not going to pay you because some dweeb who doesn't pay for X is saying something or sharing your stuff. You need to help get more verified people. The more verified people who watch your stuff, the more verified people who engage in your stuff, the more money you're going to make. Bet you didn't know that tidbit, did you? It's not the followers. I've told people for a long time, followers don't mean crap. It's verified followers. How many other people with the blue check, how many other people in the hive have decided to follow you? Push that, because the more people who have the blue checks, the more money you're going to make. So, what's his name? Sirius, whatever. Cynical Publius. He pulled open the curtain. And what I'm about to show you is going to cause some of you who are good with math to have your jaws drop, because you don't realize how much you're being really influenced. So, he posted this. He goes, I want to talk to you about some rage bait. And that's when you start talking about the boomers and this and that and anything, and you get people all pissed off and they all start talking about it. He goes, look, people, you need to understand how this works. You ain't out there posting 50 or 75 or 100 times a day for your health. We're posting 50, 70 to 100 times a day because we get paid to. Depending on the size of your verified following is what's going to determine how much X pays you. So I'm going to show you under the skirt. I said behind the curtain. The below screenshot shows my last few X payouts. It's full transparency, and I compared what he posted, and I was like, he's absolutely correct. He's giving you exactly how X reconciles things. I don't do this for a living. I have an actual full-time job that is not X. I never rage bait. I never engagement farm. These are terms that people are doing to get people to continue to engage with their stuff. And I always just shoot straight from with what I'm thinking. I know 250,000 followers sounds like a lot, but it's really not. So he's got 255, as I just showed you. Not when you consider how many accounts have millions of followers. Hey, I keep seeing Candace Owens saying some crazy stuff. I keep saying Nick Fuentes saying crazy stuff. I see all these people saying nutty stuff. Why are they doing that? Do they really believe it? I don't know. But what I do know is they're getting paid. They're absolutely getting paid. So, you can now look at what they pay me and multiply that exponentially for the really big accounts, who, by the way, are also raking in dough on YouTube, podcasts, TikTok. Full disclosure, he's correct. Now understand this. What I'm about to show you is the monetization on X. The monetization on YouTube dwarfs X. Dwarfs it. So what you're about to see is literally the tip of the iceberg of what's going on in influence peddling. So next time you get some fed up theory about I know who really killed Charlie Kirk or Trump is an Epstein pedo or anything else that is fringe and conspiratorialist and inflammatory, realize that those people really don't care about you or the truth. Not at all. They only care about the money. You have been warned. This is my public service message for the day. X pays out roughly, every 10 days, 12 days, so like every 2 weeks. Let's call it a bi-weekly paycheck. And he goes back to August 30th, and he gives you his payments. This 2-week period or so, he banked $2,900. Next one, $3,000. Next one, $2,800. Next one, $27,000. Next one, $26,000. And then on November 21st, just before Thanksgiving, a whole bunch of payments will then begin to be flowed and sent out. Everyone's going to get flush on November 21st. So, if you have 250,000 followers on X, that you're going to get paid bi-weekly, bi-monthly, twice a month. You're going to get paid twice, and you're going to pull in, between $55,000 and $6,000 a month for doing nothing but tweeting. And then, of course, as he said, the more you get engagement, the more people who spread your stuff, the more people who talk about what you're posting, the more money they make. So every time you see somebody say, boomers this and boomers that, and you're like, you didn't used to be a big boomer hound. Well, it's because they're riding the wave of the conversation right now. And that's just on X. It doesn't work the same on YouTube. You can't craft it that much the way you can do. When I say craft it, I know if I started talking about President Trump, and I've seen pictures of him with little kids, I'll get a whole bunch of people talking about it. A whole bunch. Good and bad. And guess what? I don't care whether it's good or bad. That's the problem. That is the problem in a nutshell. If I said I had pictures that I'm waiting to release about President Trump on the island, and then what would happen? People would be saying, oh, Barry, you're full of it. And then I have other people saying, oh, you got to post them. Oh, Barry's full of crap. He doesn't have pictures. Oh, I can't wait till he posts them. I just said, hey, y'all go ahead and talk about this. Oh, here's a clip. Use some AI or something. Oh, that's fake. That's AI. Oh, no, that's really Trump. Look at these idiots. Look at them. Look at them all. How much? Okay, just check it. So if I'm a pollster, and I know there's not even an election for a year from now, there's not even an election. What the hell am I polling? Well, I can make up some shit and just keep talking about it. It's going to piss off these people, and it's going to encourage these people, and I can just sit back and do that 100 times a day. Last time I checked, the people under 25 said Trump sucks. Oh, God, you're lying. That's what's happening right now. I can't even imagine that even a quarter of what we're seeing on X right now is actually real. Because when we log off and go live life, it doesn't jive. But your mind doesn't think about it, because as soon as you get back, home or in a restaurant and you're doing this, everything you're seeing here somehow doesn't jive with what your face is seeing. But you want to believe this instead. And that's what's going on. Your better judgment, the better angels that are sitting next to you, you're not listening to them. It's like, oh, he's got 1.2 people just like this post. Oh, everyone's watching it. That must be true. The numbers, the social digits verify your own hive mind belief. And so then you want more of that. I say all this because President Trump has been doing every single thing he said he was going to do. It's only certain people, which seems to be a lot of people in MAGA, have figured out, I can make a bunch of money right now. I know Christmas is coming up, so if I start trashing Trump, I'm going to get into the mindset of other people who are trashing Trump. These people want that reinforcement. They want that content. See? So-and-so said it too. See? I'm not the only one. And that's what's happening. And so the poll I put up on today's post, today's video before we started, I put up, and my question was, at this point, is MAGA dead? Of course MAGA is not dead. Of course MAGA is not dead. I put, hell no, not yet. I just, in fun, I went, yes, how did I end up here? But you actually have people out there right now saying, it's dead. MAGA's dead. How could that possibly be? How could it possibly be dead when you're standing there breathing? And you have people that you know that are standing there breathing. But they want to tell you it's dead. Be very, very careful, especially right now. Especially as you don't know what people's agenda is and where they're headed, what they want. Because the agenda that you're seeing that appears to you may not be the agenda that the person is actually taking. I'll be right back. We'll take some questions.
Hey everybody, Barry has a couple things to let you know about. Fanfare is giving away a free fishing trip. We're going to fly you and a guest down to South Florida for a 3-day, 2-night getaway. You'll go on a deep-sea fishing trip with Robin. And Barry and Robin will take you and your guest out to dinner. To enter to win, go to fanfareshop.org/fishing. It's easy and it's free to enter. Second, if you'd like to join our private group on X, go to fanfareshop.org/group and join 18,000 fellow patriots. It's a safe space for patriots as it's curated and moderated. Again, that's fanfareshop.org/group. One more thing, if you'd like to be a part of the show, submit a 60-second video by going to fanfareshop.org/submit video. Last, but certainly not least, if you'd like to request a free Bible, please go to fanfareshop.org/Bible. We have a long list, but we're getting them out as soon as we can. Again, that's fanfareshop.org/Bible. Thanks for being a part of the Fanfare family. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
All right, so it is now 2:39, and President Trump, as of right now, has not. They don't even have the feed up, so it's not ready. Let's take some comments here. The old man dog fan says, "Thanks for the education. I'm older than you, and you just blew my mind. That much money for posting stuff? That's not a lot of money. I know some of you are like, what do you mean? $6,000 a month isn't a lot of money? Not for some people. Some people would look at $6,000 a month from X or some of these networks, and that's their play around money. That even doesn't count TikTok. It doesn't count YouTube. It doesn't count Facebook. It doesn't count sponsorships. Now it's starting to sink in. Now you're really, hopefully starting to see and should question when people deviate from what they have been saying. I am a Trump supporting channel. I am not going to flip. I am not going to turn my back. I am Trump. I don't care what the numbers look like. I don't care. I have other things that I work on. If something were to happen and this would go off, then I go back to my day job and just concentrate on buying houses. That's what I do. It's kind of hard for me to put any credence into anybody who's talking about housing affordability who's not in the market. I don't want to go eat from a chef who doesn't cook. I don't want to go get my hair cut from a barber who doesn't cut hair. So I don't want to take housing affordability information from somebody who makes videos. I'll get video information from you. How did you do that? Ooh, that looks pretty good. How did you cut that? Hey, tell me about, your experience buying houses. Ooh, I never bought any. Oh, sure. How do they tax you on that? They tax you just same thing. It's a 1099. You get a 1099 from the various networks, and then, you pay taxes on it. Bible link doesn't work. Somebody said it expired. I will do that. I will get that fixed up. When Trump is talking, okay, so for those of you guys who clicked on a Bible link and it said is expired, when he starts talking, so in the background, I can't stop now because I'd be doing all this while, you'll be watching. So when he starts talking and we cut to him, I will make sure that the Bible link is unexpired, and you can go ahead and request a Bible at that time. So once he starts talking, give me like 10 minutes and we'll get that. Some people on X have become toxic. I scroll past them. There's a few people, and it's just become recent, where they will post literally 100 times per day telling you how bad things suck. And a couple times I just simply ask people, well then, why are you on X? If it sucks so bad, if everything is so terrible, why are you spending all day doing this? Maybe get out there, get a job, do something. So, man, the life sucks. It sucks so bad. Let's see. Will there be a housing glut if all the invaders are deported? I don't want to get too much into real estate right now, but you asked, so I'll give you my opinion. My opinion is, and people like to differ with opinions. Everybody has one. They're like something else, as you heard the joke. But most of the newcomers who were housed in certain areas are in areas where other people pretty much aren't going to want to live. They will always be those kind of rentals. There will be more lower income housing, and once these people are moved out. So there's only a top end. When people say it's going to inflate prices, no, because there's still low end stuff. If I took you to Riviera Beach, which has a huge ghetto area, and I went in and threw everybody out that's living there and put a sign up for rent, I'm going to get back the same type of people. It's not like people who have boats are all of a sudden going to move to the hood. So you're just refreshing. So is it going to create more housing? It should, but the people don't want to live there anyway. See, the problem is what's going on when they're having boomer hate and they think we've done so much bad for them is they don't want to know the truth. They don't do anything to adjust for cost of living over time. They don't do anything to account for the size of homes and what amenities in our home. They just look at this beautiful house with a pool and then say to themselves, I can't have that. Well, the problem isn't the house. The problem is we've conditioned these nuts not to understand you have a Kool-Aid budget and you're looking at champagne. You need to go to Popeyes. You cannot go to a big fancy white table restaurant. You just can't do it. When I grew up, there was actually okay to know that you can't do it. Go take a steak and grill it outside. You can't go to Ruth Chris. You can't afford it. I don't understand how can't afford it became a bad thing. We all grew up knowing we can't afford something. And that started very, very young, depending on where you're from. Hey, Mom, I like this for Christmas. I'm going to bring you something else, okay? I want an RF wagon. What's that? What's a wagon? It's just not RF wagon. It's the reason why Caldor and Sears and Kmart were even there is because you couldn't afford to shop at Macy's, so you bought it here. These kids don't want Kmart. They want everything to be Macy's. They want the fake eyelashes. They want the Gucci purse, the Gucci shades. You know what let me tell you something. You know what my sunglasses cost? I'm going to give you a little insight here. Robert always laughs at me. How much do my sunglasses cost? 15, 18 bucks. I buy them at 7-Eleven because I have to buy them often because I step on them, I sit on them, I lose them. So no way in hell I'm buying designer sunglasses. Could I afford to? Yeah. But guess what? The ones over there at 7-Eleven are like, and then the ones I wear, I don't even know if I have not here with me. I can prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you tomorrow. I'm going to bring my sunglasses in, and on the thing that goes around your ear, it's all eaten up because Lily had got to it. And then he pulled it from her, and so it kind of ripped. And I still wear them. These kids don't want. I can't wear that. Dogs chewed on it. So I remember when my nephews came to visit one time, and he was walking around, and we were somewhere, and somebody stepped on his shoes, his sneakers. And they were white. And he's like, oh man, and he freaked out because he had a stain on his sneakers. We had to stop so he could buy some sneaker clean and make it all nice and white. I looked at my sister and went, something's wrong with him. Okay, we got life here. I see shaky movement and everything. We'll talk more about that as President Trump and Gianni from FIFA are lined up here. So I'm going to put one feed on while I get the other feed ready. Here we go.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. I'm delighted to welcome FIFA President Gianni Infantino, one of the greatest men of sport. He is an amazing man. He's done an incredible job with FIFA. Congratulations on the job. I hear you're setting records for the World Cup. We'll talk about it, but you're setting records in ticket sales for the World Cup. And we love having you back at the White House, Johnny, and everybody that's with you. You guys have done fantastically. I also want to thank Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D. FIFA, congratulations on the job. I hear you're setting records for the World Cup. We'll talk about it, but you're setting records in ticket sales for the World Cup. And we love having you back at the White House, Johnny, and everybody that's with you. You guys have done fantastically. I also want to thank Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D., wherever you may be. Where's J.D.? He's coming right over. Marco Rubio was doing a fantastic job, and Secretary Kristi Noem was doing a fantastic job, as well as Representative Darren LaHood. Thank you all very much. Hi, Darren. This past summer, the United States hosted the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, and it was great. I actually went to a match, and it was amazing. That was a big success, too, wasn't it? It was sort of like a preview of what's to come. And now we're getting ready for an even bigger event next year as we host the official 2026 FIFA World Cup. That's the big one. The World Cup tournament. This will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, even for our country, because frankly, this goes to countries, everybody wants it. I guess it's going all over the world. Do you know who's getting it the next time around? Who's getting it? Has that been selected?
The next one will be Morocco, Spain, and Portugal.
That's good.
With 3 matches at the beginning in South America, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. And the one after will be Saudi Arabia in 2034.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Well, we have the king coming, Crown Prince is coming tomorrow. This will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to showcase the greatness of American world-class athletic competition as we celebrate our nation's 250th year. The World Cup will also be an incredibly significant economic opportunity for countless American workers and businesses. It's expected to drive more than $30 billion, Johnny. I don't know about that. That sounds like a lot of money.
No, that's true.
Are you sure?
100%.
How much does the country get out of that?
30 billion.
20%? No, do we get like a percentage of the gross or anything?
That's for negotiation.
That's right. And it's going to create nearly 200,000 jobs for America. Since the creation of the White House FIFA Task Force earlier this year, Secretary Rubio's team at the State Department has worked tirelessly with the Department of Homeland Security to ensure that soccer fans from all around the world are properly vetted and able to come to the United States next summer easily. Before I took office, it would often take a year to get a travel visa, but because of the administration's hard work, now in more than 80% of the world, think of that, the wait time for a visa is 60 days or less. For those who intend to join us for the World Cup, I strongly encourage you to apply right away. And I want to thank FIFA Task Force and Secretary Rubio for the great job. Marco's doing a fantastic job in many ways, too. So I want to just thank you all for a great job. Marco, you're doing a great job. Beyond even this, we're also creating what we're calling the FIFA Prioritized Appointment Scheduling System. That's a hard one for most people to remember, but it's there nevertheless. And this will allow World Cup ticket holders with long wait times to opt with FIFA for a prioritized interview. And I've directed my administration to do everything within the power to make the 2026 World Cup an unprecedented success. I think it's going to be the greatest. And we are setting records on ticket sales. Nobody's ever really, and FIFA's never, if you look at the numbers, nobody's ever seen anything like the kind of numbers we're doing. The early ticket sales are through the roof, and much of it is even sold out. So congratulations, Johnny. And I'd like to ask Johnny to say a few words. He's really done an incredible job. He's got unbelievable spirit and personality and talent and intelligence, I always like to say, because it's all a part of it. But the job you've done is based on what's happening, unprecedented. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Thank you very much. I would like to start really by thanking you, Mr. President, Secretary Rubio, Secretary Noam, Andrew, your entire team for approving and making this very important announcement today. The FIFA Pass is being announced, the prioritized appointment scheduling system. That's the way people will remember it. So if you have a ticket for the World Cup, you can have a prioritized appointment to get your visa, because we said it the very first time we met, Mr. President, America welcomes the world. America will welcome the world here next year. We will have between 6 and 7 million tickets sold for the matches. We will have between 5 and 10 million people coming to America from all over the world to enjoy the World Cup. And with this FIFA Pass, we can make sure that those who buy a ticket that are legitimate football fans or soccer fans, they can come and attend the World Cup in the best conditions, starting from getting their visa and then coming, of course, in the country to enjoy. You mentioned the economic impact, the 30 billion, 200,000 jobs, and this is just for the World Cup, and we will build on that to make soccer even greater here. You are the number one country in the world, the United States of America, Mr. President, you have to be the number one country as well in the number one sport in the world. So we have to work for that, and we will do that, and the World Cup will be very, very significant in this respect. So big, big thank you to you, to the White House Task Force, to everyone involved, and we are celebrating next year not just the 250 years, but also the greatest and most inclusive World Cup ever. We'll have 6 billion people watching. We have the draw coming up on the 5th of December here at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. 1 billion people watching the draw to find out who plays whom and where. We have 32 teams already qualified. Before or by tomorrow night, we'll have 42 out of 48 qualified. So a quarter of the world will be here, and we are looking very much forward. So thanks for the support, thanks for the great work, and always happy to be here at home, if I can say that.
You are home. We are. There's your beautiful trophy right there.
Yeah.
You are, and a big part of it too. Marco, would you say a few words?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. First of all, for getting the games, because this happened in your first term when the Cup came here, and it's a major undertaking. So we've deployed over 400 additional consular officers around the world to deal with that, in some cases doubling the size of the consular presence in our embassies in certain countries. And the good news now is that about 80% of the world you can get an appointment within 60 days. It used to take, half a year or longer, and now sometimes it took, now you can get it in less than 2 months, where in places it took over a year. In places, for example, like Brazil and Argentina, it took over a year to get an appointment. Now you can get it in less than 2 months. So our advice to everybody is, if you have a ticket for any of the games, you need to apply if you haven't done so as soon as possible. Don't wait till the last minute. Your ticket is not a visa. It doesn't guarantee admission to the U.S. It guarantees you an expedited appointment. You're still going to go through the same vetting. We're going to do the same vetting as anybody else would get. The only difference here is we're moving them up in the queue. We're moving them up faster. But my advice to everyone that's watching around the world is, if you intend to come to the games, you have to have a ticket. You need to apply. Apply as soon as possible. You're going to get your interview within 6 to 8 weeks, and move forward from there. Don't wait till the last minute to do it. Thank you.
Mr. Congressman, would you like to say something?
Well, first of all, Mr. President, none of this would have happened without your leadership securing this during your first term. I tell my colleagues all the time, this will be the largest sporting event in the history of the world. We expand from 32 to 48 teams for the first time ever. We're doing it with Mexico and Canada, but obviously the 11 host cities will be here in the United States, and it's going to have a $30 billion impact economically in this country. And so it has been a team effort by everybody, but I also want to thank President Infantino, and obviously you, Mr. President, and your entire team, Andrew and Nick and everybody. It is going to be an unbelievable sporting event next summer.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Andrew, would you like to say something?
Sure. I think
we'll have somebody much more important.
much more important. And honestly, without her work, without Secretary of State Rubio's work in the State Department, this would not happen. And without your leadership and your vision, this would not have happened. I think 2 key points. One that the Secretary of State already highlighted: this is a welcoming message to the world without going around the safety and security procedures. It's so key to make sure that this World Cup is safe and secure, and the White House Task Force is working every day to make sure that's the case. And also, as Congressman LaHood said, the economic benefits for American businesses, both small and large, from a $30 billion event like this. So really, thanks to all the White House Task Force members, from Secretary Rubio to Secretary Noem. The 2 notice of funding opportunities that went out to the cities and states last month were really key from the safety and security perspective. To Deputy Chief of Staff Luna, who is integral in this whole process. To the White House Task Force members that are standing in the back of the room today and that couldn't be here. Without your hard work, this would not have happened, and I really can't thank you enough for really the best team I've ever been a part of. And also to FIFA, to the President Gianni Infantino, my good friend Carlos Cordiero. Your desire to make this World Cup the best yet, it's contagious. Every single day I come in and think, what can we do to make this even better? And Mr. President, your vision more than anything. I think it takes a unique visionary to be able to go and see a sporting event and realize that this can be one of the greatest cultural events in world history. And I think there are very few people, aside from the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, that can do that undertaking. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Christy?
Mr. President, thank you for Andrew. Thank you for making him the head of our FIFA task force. He's fantastic, and Nick has been a rock star in facilitating all of our meetings, getting everybody together, and making sure that we're prepared to host this event. And it's going to be the world's largest sporting event ever hosted, and it's happening under your leadership. So every department has been working, but the Department of Homeland Security is working on making sure people can travel here safely. They know that they're welcome to the United States, that each of these events will be cooperative events with our cities to make sure that security needs are met. We put out over $600 million worth of grants to the 11 host cities that they'll have the advantage to partner on technologies and screening technologies, drone technology, counter UAS as well will be implemented. So we'll be prepared to host it safely, but also with Marco's leadership at the State Department, making sure that people that come in on these tourist visas are coming in thoroughly vetted, just like anyone who would travel here, and they would come and enjoy our country, and then they would go home in a timely manner. So we're excited about that, and we're excited to partner with you, Mr. President, on creating memories for people around the world that will make them not just fall in love with the United States, but also fall in love with the sport of soccer.
Well, thank you. How many games are there, Johnny, total?
Total 104 games, meaning 104 Super Bowls in 1 month. This is the magnitude of the event.
You know, when you think
It is. It's incredible.
it's going to be the biggest sporting event we've ever had. It's like having 104, or even if you cut it in half, 50, 60 Super Bowls, right? That's okay too. Any questions, please?
Mr. President, can you just take us through this FIFA Pass idea that you guys are talking about here? How exactly is it going to work for ticket holders to this big event that the United States is hosting?
I'll let my guys do that because they can do it much better. And either one of you two, Nick, would you like to talk about it?
Sure. Well, Mr. President, without your leadership, this would not happen. And we came in 10 months. We have a system that's going to welcome the world. The greatest host in the history of the world is going to host the world here. Basically, this system allows folks with a FIFA ticket purchased through FIFA to go through the FIFA portal. That is then going to get prioritized with the State Department, so that those appointments are going to be had before existing appointments, so that people, when they buy tickets, they have confidence that they're going to be able to come to the games and spend their money and travel this country and do all the things that they want to do and enjoy the game. So it's an incredible vision that the President executed here. Within 10 months, we started with really not that much. And so this whole team here, with the President's guidance, has made this possible. It's going to be the greatest games in the history of the world.
Okay, do you have that?
Yes,
yes. Not too complicated.
Mr. President, can I
Daniel, please. Daniel?
Mr. President, you were talking about the economic impact of this. Billions and billions of dollars. This builds on the framework and the groundwork that you've built already up for a major year in 2026. Deregulation, energy independence, tax cuts, historic amounts of private sector investments. What do you envision for the 2026 economy when this event comes to town next year, too, on top of everything else?
Yeah, it's just a huge economic boon to this. You know, we had a little shutdown that was caused by the Democrats, and this will make up for it many times over, so that's good. But I think it's the importance of the event all over the world. The world is watching, and it really is. It's like having, you know, many Super Bowls, actually. Each game is almost a Super Bowl. Some of them are, I guess you could say, bigger than Super Bowls. I guess when you get to the finals, it's of that level or more. Much more. Worldwide, I think it's got to be more. So that's great. You know, when Johnny and I made the deal, I never thought I was going to be president because I was supposed to be retired by that time. And I got a little lucky. So I'm very honored to have it. And we have the Olympics coming, too. That'll be great. And the 250 is going to be right out on the lawn. You're going to have a UFC event with Dana White and his people. He's going to have the greatest card they've ever assembled. I was talking to Dana White the other day, and they're going to have the greatest card they've ever assembled, Johnny. So you'll be sitting up there with me, Darren. We'll be watching it. So right opposite the front door of the White House. It's going to be on June 14th. So it's really going to be an amazing period of time. But this is something very, very special. World Cup. All my life I've heard about it. Yep.
Mr. President, I have a question about Venezuela, but can I just first ask, the health of the president's always news. Your voice sounds a little rough. Are you feeling all right?
I feel great. I was shouting at people because they were stupid about something having to do with trade in a country, and I straightened it out. But I blew my stack at these people. This is so stupid.
Well, it sounds like there's a follow-up there, but can I ask you about Venezuela? You suggested...
Sounds as the what?
It sounds like there's a follow-up there, but can I ask you about
I
Venezuela?
thought you said there was a polyp, and I said, I don't want to hear that.
There's a whole other issue.
Okay.
You suggested you've made a decision about what you want to do next about Venezuela. I understand you don't want to tip your hand, but is there anything you're ready to rule out at this point? Are you ruling out U.S. troops on the ground?
No, I don't rule out that. I don't rule out anything. We just have to take care of Venezuela. They dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country from prisons. Nobody knows better than this young lady right here. She's done an incredible job with Tom Homan and all of your people. It's amazing. You know, we have a tight border right now. Nobody comes in. But we had millions of people pouring through. A year ago, we had millions of people pouring through our border, and many of them came from Venezuela, including Tren de Aragua, the gang. And I guess what I'm hearing, Christy, is that's as bad a gang as there is anywhere in the world.
It's the worst.
Is
Absolutely,
that actually
sir. Absolutely, they are the worst.
I mean, they're worse than MS-13.
They're killers. They massacre people. They cut them up into pieces, and they bury them in their communities where they grew up. They're horrible people.
Now, we had a lot of them, and many of them, most of them, pretty soon, most of them are going to be out. But they sent them in like we're a dumping ground. So I'm not in love with the people running Venezuela. I love Venezuela. I love the people of Venezuela. But what they've done to this country, and I really say this, what Biden and the Democrats have done to this country can never, ever be forgotten.
You suggested Maduro wants to talk. Are you prepared to speak with him directly? Would you commit to doing that before you order strikes?
Yeah, I probably would talk to him. Yeah, I talk to everybody.
Mr. President,
go ahead,
follow
please.
up on Garrett. Was that what you were referring
Please, go ahead.
to? Was that India?
Rebecca Zelka with Blaze News. So, in a recent interview, you had made some remarks about H-1B visas. You said about H-1B visas.
Yeah.
You said that there were certain talents that Americans needed to outsource to foreign workers. Could you clarify?
Until they learn that, yeah. Like, for instance, if you're going to be making chips, we don't make chips too much here anymore, but we are going to be in a period of a year. We're going to have a big portion of the chip market. But we have to train our people how to make chips because we didn't do it. We used to do it, and then foolishly we lost that business to Taiwan. Very, very foolishly, because if they had a president that thought like I did, they would not have let that happen. But it's all coming back. I think we're going to have within a few years, we're going, and not because of the CHIPS Act. The CHIPS Act was a disaster for this country. We gave away billions of dollars to other countries and other locations and companies, and all they did was rob our money. But because of tariffs, the chips are coming back. Chip makers are all coming back. And I think within a very short period of time, we're going to have maybe even the majority of the chip making in the world will be right in the United States, where it should have been all along. But because we had people that didn't believe in tariffs, they believed in them, but they didn't know how to use them, we would have had nobody leaving our country right now. And instead, you have almost 100% of the chips are made in Taiwan. It's so disgraceful. The good news is it's all coming back. Yeah, please.
Mr. President,
the gentleman in the back.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to just follow up on Venezuela. In these talks with Maduro, is there anything that he could say or do that would allow you to feel like he could stay with your support? Is there anything that he could say that you would be, okay, you can stay?
It's hard to say that. You know, the question's a little bit tricky. I don't think it was meant to be tricky. It's just that, look, he's done tremendous damage to our country, primarily because of drugs, but really because we have that problem with other countries too. But more than any other country, the release of prisoners into our country has been a disaster. He's emptied his jails. Others have done that also. He has not been good to the United States. So we'll see what happens. At a certain period of time, I'll be talking to him.
Mr. President, can I just follow up? You mentioned your voice and you were shouting about trade. Which country in particular upset you? Was it India?
No, a country wanted to try and renegotiate the terms of their trade deal, and I wasn't happy about it.
Well, which country was it? People want to know.
Why would I say that to you? I can't believe it.
Mr. President, on the World Cup, if you would, Seattle and the World Cup. The new mayor-elect of Seattle is a Democratic Socialist. Seattle has
or beyond. I watched her.
Right, Seattle has
that's more than socialism.
Right, Seattle has 6 World Cup games. How close are you going to be watching that city with the crime in that city?
Well, if we think, and I'll have to speak to Johnny about this, but if we think that The mayor of LA is incompetent. Everybody knows that. You know that I was there, I guess, 2 years ago, and we got all the federal permits taken care of, far more complex than the state permits and the city permits. And Lee Zeldin, who's a superstar, got everything taken care of. The toughest part, having to do with the fires, that should have never happened. If they let the water come in, it wouldn't have happened, right? Do you know that people aren't building their houses yet? I mean, can you imagine that? And if we didn't go in early on, Christy, I think we can say it. Well, the head of their police department said it. They were unable to handle. You would have had, not only did you have the fires, but you would have had total insurrection in Los Angeles. And if we didn't go in, and the head of, the gentleman, he said it, and he said it strongly. He said we could not have done it without the federal government. We did a great job. If we think there's going to be a sign of any trouble, I would ask Johnny to move that to a different city. We have a lot of cities that would love to have it number one, and we'll do it very safely. So if we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very liberal/communist mayor, I would say, it's certainly beyond just liberal. I watched her over the weekend. Wow, that's another beauty we got there. But if we think there's going to be a problem, Johnny, can I say we will move? I don't think you're going to have this problem, but we're going to move the event to someplace where it's going to be appreciated and safe.
Yeah, well, I think safety and security is the #1 priority for a successful World Cup. We can see today that people have trust in the United States when we see at the ticket sales, we sold, record-breaking figures of tickets, almost 2 million already sold out of 2 million that we have been selling. This is because people, they know that they will be coming here and they will experience a safe and secure World Cup. This is the responsibility, of course, of the government, of Secretary Norm, of everyone, and obviously we will. We will discuss. We are working together. We have a task force for this, and we must ensure that all fans coming from abroad or being here, they can experience a celebration of coming together of the sport. And this goes only with 100% safety.
We are communicating with all these mayors about what their responsibilities are. They know the safety and security of these events is their #1 responsibility, and we'll be there. The president's always there to keep Americans safe, but he also makes sure the people that know their responsibilities and that they're prepared to host these events and do so in a safe manner.
Is there a timeline that would have an extra?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
There was some news this morning from an Axios report that Senator Ted Cruz was laying the groundwork for a potential 2028 presidential run. Could I get your reaction to? Could you see yourself supporting Senator?
Well, he's a friend of mine. I haven't spoken to him about it. It's a little early. It's 3.25 years. It's a long time, but he's a very good guy. He's a very good friend of mine. You remember we had quite a campaign against Ted, and it worked out quite nicely. Let's see, where are we? Oh, we're in the other one. But I'm not that surprised to hear that.
Mr. President, on the tariff exemptions, you had some recently on a variety of different goods. I'm wondering, are you ruling out going forward no more exemptions on products? You were mentioning a disagreement you had earlier.
We've taken in hundreds of millions of dollars in tariff money. We're going to be issuing dividends later on, somewhere prior to, probably in the middle of next year, a little bit later than that, of thousands of dollars for individuals of moderate income, middle income. We're going to pay down debt. We have a lot of money from tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, this nation would be in serious trouble. And we've taken in tremendous amounts of money. And you know what's more important than that? We've protected our businesses from being raided like we did with the chip business. Now we're bringing them all back. But we had 100% of the chip industry. And then they left. They went mostly to Taiwan and South Korea, but mostly Taiwan. And they have almost 100%. And we're going to have, within a short period of time, a big percentage of the chip business are coming back because of tariffs, because they don't want to pay the tariffs, because the tariffs will be very steep if they don't come back, and they've committed to come back. As you probably heard, Apple is now up to $700 million We have NVIDIA at $600 billion. We have tremendous amounts of money pouring in. Our country has become amazing again and really, really rich again. I will say this. We have a decision we're waiting for. It's a very big decision. The numbers that we've taken in, if you talk about investments, is trillions, not with a B, not with an M, millions, but trillions of dollars. I can't imagine having to give that money back on something that we're allowed to do. And the ones that are fighting us are countries, largely. They're back in countries that have been ripping us off for years, using tariffs to rip us off. And now we're able to defend ourselves. It really is a matter of national security, because economic security is national security. So I think you're going to see another thing happening. I think you'll see food prices. They've come down very substantially since Biden. But I think you're going to see food prices coming down very substantially.
Saudi Arabia, tomorrow you're hosting Saudi Arabia. Are you planning to sell F-35s to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
And also, are you looking at doing a similar security agreement like you did with Qatar?
Yeah, no, I am planning on doing that, yeah.
You're going to
They
sell
want to buy.
F-35s?
They've been a great ally. They've got to like us very much. Look at the Iran situation, what we did in terms of obliterating, we obliterated their nuclear capability. Yeah, I will say that we will be doing that. We'll be selling F-35s. Yeah.
Mr. President, you clarify something you posted on Truth Social last night. You urged House Republicans to vote in favor of this Epstein release bill they're going to vote on tomorrow. I just want to be super clear on your position. Do you want to see that pass the Senate? Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to. Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats. All I want for people to recognize the great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower, on energy, on ending 8 wars, and another one coming pretty soon, I believe. We've done a great job. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. We've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. With Kennedy, we gave everything, and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything, and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages. 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans. Now, I believe that some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein, but they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all. And we'll see what happens. What I just don't want Epstein to do is detract from the great success of the Republican Party, including the fact that the Democrats are totally blamed for the shutdown. They cost our country hundreds of billions of dollars with that, at a lot of inconvenience. So I'm for any. I don't. They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much, because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them, and it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax, and I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time. Yeah.
Mr. President, on affordability,
the shutdown is now over, and administration officials had said when the shutdown ends, they'll reevaluate the farmer relief. Now we have the deal with China. So is the administration still looking to dish out farmer relief now that the government is back open?
Yeah, we want to. I'm always going to help our farmers.
So are you still looking to do
I would
relief?
do that, yeah. If they need relief, we'll be there for them. We're going to always be for our farmers.
So what are you waiting
Yeah,
for?
please, in the back.
Mr. President, just speaking of the economic impacts of FIFA and possibly moving to another city some games if you feel it's crime, is there like a timeline that you would do that? Because these cities, there's sponsorships, there's economic impact for these communities.
Sure.
Is there?
Well, you know, the governors are going to have to behave. The mayors are going to have to behave. You know, in the case of California, you have a problem. You have high crime, and you have a place that just suffered great fires and everything else, and they didn't do a very good job. And if we didn't go in from the crime standpoint, you would have had a disaster. It was not going to be handled properly. It wasn't able to be. The head of the police said as I said, without the federal government, they could not have done it. So here's the story. I love Los Angeles. If they want help during this, I would love to send in National Guard or whoever's necessary to help them. I want it to be great. I'd love it to be in Los Angeles. I love the place. It's a natural for Los Angeles. If we think there's going to be crime, if we are obstructed by the governor, and maybe he won't obstruct, maybe it'll be great. But I'd love him for him to call and say, you know, we'd like to have some extra help. Because if there's even a hint of a problem, we want to get in there before the problem occurs. We want to make it totally safe for Johnny and FIFA and all of the great people that are going to be there, and I think that's going to happen. I would be honored to help California if they're going to have a problem, and if they think they're going to have a problem, they should say so. We can be in there in 24 hours notice and do a great job.
But does that mean by the year, by the end of the year, by the end of the first quarter?
Well, I think this: if they would tell us now, they're not going to have a problem, because if we go in, they don't have a problem. Look at D.C. There's no crime in D.C. anymore. And D.C. was a mess. If they want us to go in, I'd like them to tell us right now. But if we go in, there will be no problem. There will be no crime.
What's the message then to like local businesses who are considering sponsoring those?
Tell your governor to ask for federal help. We'd love to help them.
Mr. President, are you planning on also potentially launching strikes in Mexico or putting American troops or American personnel into Mexico to deal with it?
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Whatever we have to do to stop drugs. Mexico is, look, I looked at Mexico City over the weekend. There's some big problems over there. If we had to, would we do there what we've done to the waterways? You know, there's almost no drugs coming in through our waterways anymore. Isn't it down like 85%?
It is, sir. Absolutely.
I don't know who the 15% would be.
Yep.
It wouldn't be you.
No, that's for sure.
No, I think it's been...
Tons and tons of
you would say
drugs.
that's a big signal.
Absolutely.
We have almost no drugs coming into our country by the sea, by, you know, the waterways. And you know why, okay? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Would I do that on the land corridors? I would absolutely. Look, every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives. Not to mention the destruction of families. These families are decimated forever. The mother, the father, the children, they never recover really from it. You know, when you lose somebody, like the way they live, if you lose them, but the way they die is horrible.
Is it something?
So when we knock out a boat and we save 25,000 lives, that's great. Now, do I feel the same way about the corridors that they use? We know every one of them. We have every one of those corridors under major surveillance. We have nobody coming in through our southern border. But we know exactly how they get their things here, how they get the drugs here. Fentanyl, cocaine. Colombia has cocaine factories where they make cocaine. Would I knock out those factories? I would be proud to do it personally. I didn't say I'm doing it, but I would be proud to do it because we're going to save millions of lives by doing it.
Would you only do it with Mexico's permission, though?
I wouldn't answer that question. I've been speaking to Mexico. They know how I stand. We're losing hundreds of thousands of people to drugs. So now we've stopped the waterways, but we know every route. We know every route. We know the addresses of every drug lord. We know their address. We know their front door. We know everything about every one of them. They're killing our people. That's like a war. Would I do it? I'd be proud to. I'd probably go into Congress and say, hey, and you know what? The Democrats and the Republicans would both agree, unless they're crazy. and they are a little crazy on the Democrat side. But we have lost hundreds of thousands of people a year, death. And that's not talking about family destruction, that's talking about death. And much of it comes through Mexico. So let me just put it this way. I am not happy with Mexico, okay? Thank you very much,
Thank you,
everybody.
Press. Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press.
Thank you.
Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press. Who are you yelling at? Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press.
Tell you, maybe next week.
Thank you, Press. Keep going. Thank you, Press.
Genius. It's pure genius. America is the country that started the AI race. And as President of the United States, I'm here today to declare that America is going to win it. We're going to work hard. We're going to win it.
Why do so many financial experts call silver the most undervalued asset today? Because silver is essential to the future, from solar tech and electric vehicles to the explosive growth of artificial intelligence. Demand is rising fast, and yet silver is still trading at a bargain. With billions pouring into AI, silver prices have only one place to go, and that's up. In fact, silver may be the most overlooked asset class in financial planning. The opportunity for silver is well documented. The market for silver could double or even triple by 2026. You see, I believe in hard assets like this bar of silver. You can hold it in your hand, you can put it in your IRA, you can put it in your home safe, and relative to gold, it's very affordable. That's why I urge you to call my friends at Lear Capital and get their free report, The AI Revolution, and see why silver prices could be set to soar. Call 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. But don't wait. We all know. We've seen it. The government can print lots and lots of dollars, but they can't print silver. Alrighty, and as a part of that, tonight I will be giving away a bar of silver. This is a 1 ounce bar of, I think they call them troy ounces. Let me see what it says here. Yeah, 1 troy ounce, 0.999% silver, and I will be giving one of these away to tonight. By the way, you hear me say tonight. Tonight's not too far away. It's already 3:30. President Trump has a speech tonight at 6 p.m. It's scheduled. So I'm not sure where it is, where he's got to go. But we're talking a little bit over 2 hours or whatever. So we're going to close this one down, and then we'll pick up at 6 o'clock tonight. And the speech tonight is with the McDonald's Summit. I believe that's what it was called. It's McDonald's Financial Summit. He's going to be speaking to a group of franchise owners of McDonald's restaurants. So it should be interesting. I got an itch in my nose. I hate that. But, so you just heard him speak. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, but I'm going to wait and hold most of it till tonight because I don't want to keep you guys too long here. But what I do want to do is a couple things. Number one, he talked about, obviously this event was about the World Cup of Soccer. And I'm not going to give this person a hard time, but Gail said, I really don't care about sports when people are losing jobs and can't afford food. Gail, I think you're missing the boat here. I think you're not understanding what specifically 2 million tickets sold means. 2 million tickets have been sold. And that means there is going to be a swarm of people over these soccer matches, the pitch, as they call it. There's going to be a whole bunch of people there. And as President Trump was saying, this is almost the equivalent of 185 Super Bowls around the country. So it's vital that he keeps these games safe because the amount of revenue that is going to be driven. So I'm not going to embarrass you, but I want you to understand something. Every single one of these games that is bringing in these 2 million people, over 80, 90, 100,000 people per game. Are you not understanding the economic impact of these events. You said people are losing jobs and can't eat. So I think that you're being, again, like we talked earlier, you're being influenced by people who are talking. I don't know anybody who can't get food because there are food banks all over the country. If you know someone who can't get any food, let one of the moderators know. And I guarantee you, I will find a food bank somewhere within their radius and they can get some free food. So let's just stop saying that. Let's not say that anymore because it is a bold-faced lie. People can be fed. And I'll go even further and say, if this person is incapable of getting to a food bank, I'll spend $100 and send him an Instacart full of food. So never say that again, because the other thing is it makes people think that you're not really that serious. Now, the other side of your comment was people are losing jobs. Well, if you lose a job, is that a death sentence in terms of your employability? You are no longer going to get work again? Well, if you lose a job, go get another one. And if you're going to say they can't work, well then let's go ahead and find out who these people are. I am not going to take people in our chat who just make such completely BS statements. People are losing their jobs and they can't eat. Nah, stop lying. You're lying. Why are you always lying? You're lying, Craig. 2 million people coming into the United States in a very concentrated period of time are going to spend a boatload of money. I believe he says what, 30 or 40 billion dollars. If you haven't been to a sporting event, I go to them every other Sunday when the sorry-ass Dolphins are in town. And let me tell you, everybody from, people who park cars in their front yard to the toll booth to gas stations, never mind the people who work at the stadium. Oh, work. There's some work for you. Go work at the stadium. But everybody is making money on these events. Instead of thinking 2 million tickets, think cash. Think a bunch of money being dropped out of a helicopter in a certain area, because that's exactly what it is. I can tell you when Robin and I go down to the game, you're driving along at about 60, 65 miles an hour, and then it's like, slow down. And you're just seeing all the cars coming in, and everybody's got to park. Everybody's got to give their money to the person accepting the cash job. Then you go, and then you're going to pull out something to eat at a tailgate or something that you paid for in the local community probably. Cash. And then you're going to go, oh, wait a minute, you got to get dressed, because Robin, last time she went down, she got a sweatshirt and she got t-shirts and blah, 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 blah. Cash. Then as you're walking in, and they're selling everything from little baby helmets to bobbleheads and all kinds of things. Cash. Then you get in the stadium, and then every hot dog, every beer, every hamburger, cash. I don't think people understand when they go, I don't like sports and I don't see how it's going to help people. Well, I could get you in the car. You could drive with us. And every time you see somebody stop, you realize somebody's getting paid. Somebody's going into their pocket, pulling out cash or a credit card, and they're buying something else. And they're there for 4, 5, 6 hours. Spending money. So the woe is me crowd, I've been telling you guys for months now, every Saturday and Sunday, the woe is me crowd must disappear. I think I had posted online about Saturday. I was like, I'm sitting here watching on multi-view because all the different games, and I'm clipping and I'm clipping and I'm clicking and I'm clicking. And I'm watching stadium after stadium after stadium with 90, 100,000 people. And I know, because I've been there, all these stadiums, every single person, even the people who paint their faces red and green and white and yellow, are spending money. They're not going, they're broke. And then when they do get there, they're sharing the wealth. They are redistributing their money. They're eating. They're clanking, the bamboozlers, and all kinds of stuff. Stop. Stop with the woe is me crowd and start smelling the roses. And like President Trump just said about the Epstein stuff, shut up. It doesn't improve your life. And that's the distraction. He said it. I know it's going to get clipped. It'll be on the news later on. Oh my God, President Trump doesn't care about Epstein, blah, blah, blah. No, what he's telling you is there's nothing that you are going to do, nothing that you are going to see that is going to change your life even this much. So I'm over here focusing on the stuff that actually matters. You people on X and stuff can go scream and bitch and moan and everything you want, but people living a real life don't care. And I told you earlier why they're talking about it. I can guarantee you, I've been down to every home game thus far, and nobody in, the whole stadium walks up and goes, hey man, can you wait to see this Epstein stuff? Never had that come up. Hey man, you realize how bad the economy is? Nope, never had that come up. Yesterday with SV, people sitting next to us, hey, you heard about this Epstein stuff? Nope. They didn't like their food they got. They sent it back, but that didn't come up. It's not real. It's not even Memorex. It's completely fake. And he knows it, but the media keeps talking about it because it sells clicks and likes and gets people frothing at the mouth for nothing. Now, I am completely upset about what has happened to these kids over the years. I mean, the Sound of Freedom, I cried like a baby. But I also know it doesn't change my life. I want to see people, held accountable. Notice how he names names. Yeah, notice how he names names, and nobody talks about it. He mentioned a guy named Reid Hoffman. Full disclosure, I have no idea what Reid Hoffman has or hasn't done in regards to Epstein. Has anybody in the media done a story on Reid Hoffman? Do you even know who Reid Hoffman is? Do you know what Reid Hoffman has done? Do you know how he's made his money? Do you know who he's donated to? Probably not, because the media never talks about it. Here's a president of the United States, Reid Hoffman. And they won't talk about it. So that just goes to show you it's just a crock. Sorry, I don't mean to show Grace that, but so yeah, somebody just said it. Where was that? Susan said prime beef was priced at $30 a pound in a grocery store one town over for me. I kept walking past it. Don't buy it. No one's telling you have to buy the expensive stuff. Don't buy it. I just told you about my sunglasses. My dog-eating sunglasses I still wear. I don't need Gucci sunglasses. It doesn't do anything for me. Robin, she has very light blue eyes, so she has to have good sunglasses. Me, I've got dark eyes. Dark brown eyes. All right, so let me... I'm going to talk about the SNAP people tonight in tonight's show, but I want to finish off with a couple things that almost like a rapid pace type thing here. I was talking earlier about the PSYOP and how people are just posting things just to do it, just to get people pissed off. This lady calls herself the Patriotic Blonde. I have no idea who she is, but she says people are posting this all over social media. What a sad end to something we all worked so hard for. I never thought it would end this way. At which point I said to her, nothing has ended. Nothing. It's sad to see people turn their backs 10 months in. FYI, Trump is still your president for 3 more years. What's ended? We're talking 10 months in and people are like, oh, it's over. it's over. What has ended? If you are someone who thinks that the presidency is over, that's on you. What are you hoping to change by having people talk about that? You're not. You're out there farming engagement. Love this one. This was a good one. I'm going to play the devil's advocate here, but hear me out. The number one source of outrage inside MAGA right now is simple. Trump is governing like a globalist. While American workers drown in inflation, drug overdoses, and economic despair, I'm going to stop right there. Who are all these Americans drowning in inflation and drug overdosing and economic despair? Show them. How many? Where's the numbers? Where are they at? Trump pours all his attention into foreign crises. Trump tweets obsessively about Israel. No, he doesn't. Trump spends hours in meetings about Venezuela. Good reason why. Trump plays world negotiator like it's a role he's auditioning for on television. Meanwhile, East Palestine, which happened before Trump, is poisoned. The border is still open. Wages are still flat, and interest rates are still suffocating families. Housing is still unaffordable. Food prices are still absurd. The working class is still on life support. He writes an article, The Inside Job, How Trump Broke His Own Movement, How Trump and his inner circle took the MAGA revolution hostage and sold it to the highest bidder. But do me a favor, click on my link to find out. Wait a second. I bet you if I click this link, you're going to have something that shows up and says, pay me. It might even be a paid Substack. You might even have advertising on it. But you're saying, hey, listen, it sucks so bad, but pay me. At which point I said, brainwashing. Brainwashing is working and in full effect. Many are falling victim. Are you going to toss in the towel? Not me. I'm not going anywhere. I don't recognize who these people are. I don't ascribe to what they're saying. He's fishing with the bait of distress, hoping other people feel the same way. Come to me, you woe people. Come to me, those of you who are having economic despair and hate Trump. I don't know what kind of fish he's going to put in his bucket, but I'm not playing in that pond. Life is good. And if people are not experiencing good life, if people are having issues, I would rather he spend the time, instead of writing an article, I would rather he spend the time helping people he thinks are in, quote, economic despair. That's why I have taken to the point of saying, what are you going to do about it to many people? What's your solution? Oh, click my article here. That's my solution. Click over here. That's not your solution. What do you want to see? That's why somebody got mad at me today, because I said something about Benny. Like, I don't have any personal problems with Benny Johnson. Not at all. I'm just tired of people talking without offering any solutions. And by the way, I was right about this guy's Substack. Once you click into his article, you get to read some of it, but down here, it won't even go all the way down. It says, keep reading with the 7-day free trial. Give me your credit card. I won't charge you for 7 days, and then I'm going to start charging you. Wow, I thought you just said the economy sucks. Why would you be asking people to sign up for your article? No bull crap. Start with a 7-day free trial. And so if people don't know to call out the BS, they fall for it. They absolutely, here, I can show it to you right here. There it is. There it is. Right there. Keep reading with a free 7-day free trial. Subscribe, and then after 7 days, you're going to have to pay me. But how are they going to pay you? You just said everything sucks. It's all a ruse over and over and over again. Let me go to the next one I wanted to show you. Oh, grocery prices suck. Oh my God, they suck so bad. Trump's not doing anything. Well, where were you complaining when that was happening with grocery prices? If you look at this thing, actually closely, you can see where the grocery prices went up. Biden got into office, and then bam, it looks like something, a ski jump in the Olympics. Straight up. Straight up. Were you complaining back here? Or is it just now when they're leveling off at the top here, as you can see a leveling, now you're complaining? Now? Why? Because you're fake. Let's see the next thing. I love this one. Yeah, you're gonna love this one. I fear it's too late. I'm not the only one who put her social life and career on the line to publicly support Trump, only to have MAGA spit in my face and tell me I'm not wanted. Winning an election is useless if you lose power 2 years later, and if any party has deserved to lose bigly, it's the current GOP. I cannot vote for this anymore and maintain my self-respect. I fear them more than I do the left at this point. It's dangerous and deranged movement, a fever dream, magical thinking. Of course, so I just asked her, yeah. I cannot vote for the GOP. I fear them more than I do left. I can only hope more of you people actually tell us how you really feel. You're telling us that you fear MAGA more than communism. But, by her saying that, though, again, you can always tell real quickly here, Anna, whoever she is, with the blue check, and as you scroll down, Anna has gotten 123,000 views. So does Anna really fear MAGA more than communism? Or does Anna say, you know what? Some people are going to get pissed off at me and they're going to click on this shit, excuse my language, and I'm going to get paid. Because this can't be real. There's no way you fear MAGA more than communism. Can't happen. Can't be true. So now I want to talk to you a second before we go. Those of you guys who don't like me talking about real estate, now would be a good time to leave. Because I'm going to talk about real estate for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to call it a day, because I got to get ready for the 6 o'clock show. Very little time in between. Before I start talking about that, I do want to talk to you about Patriot Addict, one of our sponsors here, one of our good sponsors who does a lot for us. Hold on one second. Let me show you this, and I got to click a button. But I'm gonna talk to you guys about that, because I think we need to have a little bit of a talk about something. Hold on, let me find, what number am I supposed to be pushing? Do I have it here? Yeah, it's this one. Be right back. Hey everybody, Patriot Addict, one of our great sponsors here, is back with another great offer for you. It's a Trump Collector's Bundle that they have named the Berry Pack. This Berry Pack is the ultimate Trump collection. It features the Trump 4547 hat, which I just happen to have right here. The Trump 4547 hat. That's what you get as part of the Berry Pack, Trump 4547 hat. In addition, you get the Trump 2024 flag that's been selling out nationwide. I want you to take a look at this flag. It's awesome. Let's go ahead and put it aside so you guys can see it. We use it sometimes out in the yard. Lots of friends put it on their boat. The President Trump 2024 flag, Make America Great Again. That's part of the Berry Pack. What else do you get? Well, in addition to the hat and the flag, you also get the Trump blanket. We were showing these a while back, but it was too warm. It was summertime. Now that we're here in the fall and headed to winter and here in the holiday season, here is the Trump blanket. It's huge, it's warm, it's big, it's perfect for a tailgate, perfect for a hayride, or just hanging out back on the porch next to your fire pit. In addition, okay, keep realizing what we got here. We have the Trump hat, we have the Trump flag, we have the Trump blanket, but now you also get the Trump red knife. The Trump red knife, which I've shown you many times. You get this Trump red knife. Let's look at it. It's sharp. It's got the window breaker. It's got the seatbelt cutter. Very sharp. It's assisted opening. Good weight. Great knife. Great knife. Many people here in Fanfare have gotten this knife. So now let's recap again. You get the hat. You get the blanket. You get the flag. You get the Trump red knife. But if you order the Berry Pack, which comes with no shipping charges or hidden fees on this knife, all these 4 items would normally cost $238, but they're practically giving it away to our viewers for just $69. And just be aware, prices have already gone up, so I strongly recommend you take action now. They set aside just 500 berry packs for Fanfare, and they're already down to the last few, and I can't guarantee this collection will ever be available again. So scan the QR code right over here or visit berrypack.com. berrypack.com to claim yours before they disappear forever. That's berrypack.com, or scan the QR code now. And just to remind you, it's the hat, it's the red knife, it's the blanket. Let me make sure it's open. It's the blanket, very nice blanket, and it's the flag. Where's the flag? Yeah, all of this. Just go to berrypack.com. You want to put that on your stoop, or on your boat, or on your pickup truck. It's a full collector's pack. So go to berrypack.com or click the QR code on the screen right now and get yours. All right, so I am going to hold off on the rest of the stuff that I have because it is the real estate related stuff, and if I get into that, we're going to take too long. I'll do it tonight because I need to take a break in between shows, and it's already 4 o'clock. And then we've got to go ahead and do super chats, and then I've also got to do after party. So we're probably going to be right at about 4:30 or so. I got to take the dogs out and all that kind of stuff. So I'll finish later on today. So I'm going to go live, I believe, right at about 6 because he's always late. And I'll do the second part of the real estate stuff. And then if you missed some of what we talked about today, or people got in late, I'll clip it and I'll post it tomorrow at 11 o'clock, the full recap of what we were talking about in terms of the influencers. And SV hit me up and said, some people are like, yeah, how do we do it? How do we make some money doing that? Well, number one, you got to have a verified membership, which is going to cost you, I don't know, I think it's like $18 a month. And then you got to get people to follow you so that you can get monetized, and it's not easy. It's not as easy as saying I can do that from home. You got to have like something like 3.5 million impressions within 90 days. So it takes a lot. So it's not easy. I wasn't saying it's easy. I was saying this is how people were making money. So just wanted to give you a little handle on that before we start tonight. Let me see if I can this and do super chats. Tonight should be interesting as he talks business with the McDonald's franchise holders. That should be pretty good. And he's touting the economy that everybody else is trying to say isn't working, and it obviously is. Just that people don't want to believe it for whatever reason. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let's do this. What number do I need to go to for this? I'm going to have to make a cue card so I know which number to go to so I can bring these up. Okay, we're going to go this one. And I got to do this. And all right, so the first super chat here is from SB. SB, you know I can decline that, right? So SB, yesterday when he came down for lunch, he's like, I'm going to get you back. You guys are paying for lunch. I'm going to get you back. And I was like, boy. Anyway, inside joke. But thank you nonetheless. Frank Jones, I received my Bible today, but I can't use it. Print is too small. Thanks anyway. Frank, if you go ahead and email Ashley or tell one of the mods your Frank Jones. I don't know if Frank Jones is your real name. If Frank Jones is not your real name, but get me your information and we'll get you out a bigger one. I'm starting to buy some bigger ones for people who do have eyesight problems. So yeah, get your information to Ashley or one of the mods. Penny, the left-wing progressive are like the Borg. It's a hive mentality. Control the hive at all costs. Wiz of Ozarks, remember what happened to the Tea Party movement? That's what they're trying to do with MAGA. Beware, remember, learn from history, and adjust and overcome, prepare. Exactly. They are definitely trying to tear it apart. Sherry Clem, they keep dumbing down America even further. They want to destroy the confidence, free thinking, and ambition. It's a deliberate attempt to make people dependent and compliant. Most assuredly is. And what's really deviant to me is how many supposedly people on the right are trying to using it. They are doing exactly the same thing. You can find out for yourself when people say this sucks, that sucks. I got to try and make things more affordable. What do you have in mind? Very simple. You're bitching about it. You're just going to bitch, or you're going to do something. Very simple. G. Fisher, now I understand all the crazy tweets we see to enrage us into replying. No more. I had no idea. Yep. Charmaine Rondon. Hi, Barry. Thank you so much for your hard work. I'm interested in attending a real estate class. My almighty God bless you and yours. Thank you very much. I'm going to do something probably this week. You know what would be a good time to do more real estate? Next week, probably, like, everyone's going to be getting together on Wednesday with their family, and then Thursday, you all eat and get all fat and happy. You know, I'll eat all the turkey, and we pass out from the tryptophan. Maybe Thursday night might be a good thing, or Friday morning. Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving. That might be the trick. Let me know if Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving, because the government, it won't be any news, so we could do it then. Barry Canova. Barry, could I suggest sound acoustics for your new studio? Miss the analog sound from your home studio. I don't know how you could be missing analog sound when I'm digitally broadcasting. And so here, let me just show you what's going on back here. The screen I'm using. I'll give you a little inside look here real quick. I'm home in my home office because I had to take care of some things today. But let me just show you something. This is, where is it? It will go off. All right. This is the room where I'm in right now. We're still packing and doing stuff. And I do have some acoustic tiles behind me. And I do have acoustic tiles in front of me. I guess maybe you're saying put some more on the walls, maybe on this wall over here. So I might indeed do that as well. See, I just what did I just do? Wait a minute. What did I do? There I am. Oh, it's a different boat. Those are some different yachts down here in Fort Lauderdale. But in any event, yes, I do have the ability to do that, but the sound is actually, we're working on it. Work in progress. Cutting edge. The problem is the people posting disappear over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, about the real estate. Stop posting out of nothing, fake propaganda. There they go away. I know exactly who you're talking about because it's not real. Just look. Listen to what people are saying. I'm going to work. I'm working my butt off trying to solve this home affordability problem. How? What are you doing? You want to hear an answer? Chapo, I live in Long Island, New York, and we are busier right now than we've been the past 2 years at this time, and the price of everything is lower. You know, you can go on an app, Gas Buddy, and you can actually put in your zip code. It'll tell you where the cheapest gas is in your area. Buddy Sanders for the Bibles, thank you. Which the link is working, so that is on. Thank you. Chapo, Mondani got the freeloaders to send him money as a sucker board every minute, and these guys are super smart to sell them external confirmation. And Chapo again, brothels will be legal soon in New York City, so I'll be recruiting volunteer women, sorry about Midas, that voted for Mondani to work there to get back at Trump and help Mondani. Exactly. All right, so you can hear what's going on here. Somebody's at the door waiting for me. And so I got to get, and I will see you at 5:30, 6 o'clock or so. I'll post about it, and we'll take it from there. I'm going to go take this dog outside.